Our rocket ship gets destroyed by the enemy laser beam, and now we've got a couple things we need to do. One of the things I want to do is I want to make the enemies stop firing, because they're not going to fire any longer if there's nothing to shoot at. They're going to be done shooting, so we're going to do that. Now, if you remember, we created an alarm that was set to 0 way back when, and that was the thing that kind of reset that. And we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to go to our object rocket ship, and we're going to go to the enemy laser event that we created, and we're going to go down here. We've got it subtracting lives. It's destroying the instance. And what we're going to do is we're going to set an alarm countdown. And what we're going to do is we're going to say set alarm 0. That's the one that the ship relies on to shoot. And we're going to change it to something like 300. So it's going to give us a pause of like 300 countdowns before the enemies are going to fire again. That should give us enough time to spawn a new ship. And we're going to make this countdown apply to the object enemy ship there. All right, because that's where this actually occurs, is in this object. So we want to make sure that we set that to apply to the object. All right, so let's go ahead and see if that one step works before we go any further. Perfect. So you notice that our ships have stopped shooting, and that's exactly what we want them to do. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we need to respawn the new ship, and we need to do a couple things here for that. One of the things we're going to want to do is do another timer for it, because we want to wait a few seconds for that ship to do it. And I'm going to use timer 4 because we haven't used it yet, and I'm going to use a countdown timer of 150, so about half the time. So the ships will stop shooting. 150 countdowns later, we're going to spawn the other ship. Now we're going to use a new object, so we're going to go back up here and we're going to create a new object. And we're going to call this one Object Control. We're going to start using this one more and more for a lot of different things that are happening on our display as we kind of go. And what we want to do is we want to add an alarm event here, alarm event 4, and we're going to tell it to create, and we want to say our rocket ship event. So it's going to start that rocket ship event over again, and we're going to put it at 128 and 500. All right, that's where the rocket ship originally started. So we have this set up. One last phase that we have to do. We need to go back to our room here, and we need to make sure that that object is somewhere here so that it's active. And let's go back to our object here and look at this. So we've got set alarm countdown to 0, and we've got set alarm 4 to 150, but we've got one more step we've got to do. We've got to apply that to our object control. So it's going to pass this alarm event into the object control. The object control is then going to recreate this instance that was destroyed, by the way. That's part of what's going on here, is that once this is destroyed, we have to actually build it back up again. And so it's kind of a complicated step. Let's go ahead and hit play and see what happens. Okay, so our ship is destroyed, our other ships are not shooting, and we've got a new ship again, and it's ready for action. You can even get off a few shots, it looks like, before they start shooting back. Alright, perfect. And every time we die, you notice that our lives are going down, so we're going down. Now we're going to be able to take those, and we can perform things like having the game end and do some more amazing things with that as we move along.